Hey guys, today I'm going to start first with a joke. Now before I tell it, I'm going to just preface it by saying I know it's a bad joke. It is, but it proves a point, so bear with me. So there's this pastor and he lives in a small village. And at this time there was a lot of rain. If you live in Michigan, you currently understand this. There was a lot of rain. So there was a significant amount of flooding. Well, the flooding got so bad that he was driven to the roof of the church. Like he's literally holding on to the top of the steeple as the floodwaters continued to rise. And then all of a sudden, a boat came by and the people yelled to him in the boat, like, "Pastor, get in the boat. We will take you to safety." And he said, No, I don't need your help because God will deliver me. So a little while later, the waters have continued to rise. The water's up to his waist now. And another boat comes by and they say, "Pastor, get in the boat. We'll take you to safety." And he's like, No, the Lord himself will deliver me. So a little while later, the water is now up to his neck and a helicopter comes by and they say, "Pastor, get in the helicopter. We will take you to safety." And he says, No, the Lord will deliver me. Moments later, the pastor dies. He drowns. So he goes to heaven and he gets to the pearly gates and he says to God, and he says, "God, I had faith. Why didn't you deliver me?" And God's like, "Dude, I sent 2 boats and a helicopter. What else do you want me to do?" It's a bad joke, but the reason I tell it is because we all have this mindset that I can do it on my own. You know what? I mean, even us Christians, I can do it and God can help me. I don't need anyone else. And that's why I decided to call this video Your Declaration of Independence. See, it's kind of the document that our country was founded on, and that was a great thing. It was a powerful thing. A lot of us are all going to celebrate that this coming week. But it's kind of become our national mantra for each and every one of us. I don't need anyone else. I don't need you. I can do it on my own. But the reality is even for those of us who are asking God to do something in our lives, God works through people. He always has, he always will. And so many of us want to just kind of take care of ourselves on our own. We've got slogans like, we're going to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. I don't need anyone. We almost find shame in asking for help. But there's no shame in that. We all need help. We all need people around us. Even those of us who are looking to God to give us something, God uses people. God brings people in our lives. If we're looking for something to happen and change in our lives, are you allowing people to have access to those areas of your life where you need help, you need growth, you need deliverance, whatever it is? God uses people. We all need people in our lives. Years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I had this mindset because we're all raised to have this mindset. And I was hired by this company. I was contracted for a certain period of time to work for them. Well, at the end of the contract, the company couldn't afford to renew my contract. So I was out of a job. And I panicked a little bit. So I started doing everything I could. I started applying for jobs. And you guys ever understand sometimes a new job doesn't come quite quick enough? So I started picking up side jobs and started doing everything I could to make ends meet. I was working all these different things, but it just wasn't enough. And then the day finally came where I wasn't able to scratch together just enough money and I wasn't able to pay my rent. And that crushed me. And eventually the day came where they slid an eviction notice under my door. I don't know that I've ever been so devastated. I don't know that I've ever felt so defeated in my entire life. But I was supposed to go hang out with some friends that evening. And I just decided, you know what? I don't even care. I'm just not gonna do anything. And so I was late. And then I get a text message. "Hey man, where you at? What you up to?" I just texted back like, "Oh, it's all right. I've got some stuff going on. I'm just gonna bail tonight." A little bit while later, they're like, "Hey, you don't bail. What's going on?" I'm like, so I just didn't respond to that text message. About 30 minutes later, there was a knock at the door from 2 of my best friends. And they're like, "Hey man, you don't bail. What's going on?" So I told them what was going on. I told them what had been happening. I told them the situation I was in. And these 2 friends of mine said, "Well, why didn't you ask for help?" I'm like, "I don't need help. I'm fine. I will figure this out." They're like, "No, you need help." So these 2 friends of mine loaned me the money to pay my rent. And that alone allowed me to have enough space and time to figure out the rest of my situation, the rest of my finances. I was on the verge of losing everything. But these two people that I'd allowed access into my life put me in a position because they were in my life, and they helped me out of this horrible spot, and I was able to fix everything. I was able to pay them back. I was able to get a new job. I was able to get everything put back in order because people were in my life, because they had access to my life. And even though I didn't want to ask for help, they kind of forced me to ask for help. I needed help, and I finally did ask for their help. So I want to encourage you guys today, even though we are going into a weekend of celebrating our independence, enjoy this Independence Day and the freedom and the joy and everything we are able to celebrate in this country because of that document and what it means. But for your individual independence, if you need help, ask, say something, whether it's emotional help, mental health, whether it's something going on in your body, in your family, in your relationships, in your job. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There are people around you who love you and care about you. And if you're not seeing situations in your life work out the way you need them to, bring some people into it. Bring some people into the conversations with you. Ask for help. There is no shame in needing other people. We were all designed to need other people. If you need help, ask.